Sam.
Cam.
Salmon Cam.
It's always the chess scene.
Yeah. Well, chess is lit, and Nomura knows it. Actually,
Remember,
it'd be really awesome
what?
if, like, that you could buy this chess set.
it's real.
Is it actually?
They're selling the chess set.
Hell yeah, dude. We should have a bonus episode where we
I don't
play
think
chess
it's
with
out.
the chess set.
I don't think it's out. I think you just pre-order it now. But
Oh, they're making it.
yeah, I I really want to get it and see if they have rules included, because that is not chess. That is not. First of all, the pieces are asymmetrical. Like it's literally 7 pieces on the light side and 13 pieces on the dark side. and then for some reason the light side gets to summon like 6 more pieces or something.
Yeah. But yeah, Cam and I are hyped because I got my vaccine today.
The second shot, rather.
The second shot, specifically. So, in like 2 weeks, we will be back. Well, not 2 weeks from when you see this, but because this will probably be up long after this has already happened. But in 2 weeks from the recording of this episode, we will be doing physical salmon cams again. So, like,
Yes, I will be in person at Sam's house, and there won't be any weird disconnect issues.
yeah. So I guess
And-
what it really means is it's not 2 weeks you should be thinking of. It should be like 20 episodes roughly. In like 20-ish episodes, we will be back.
Let's say like around 16. Oh wait, no, counting today too. Right? Yeah. Okay. So 20 is good.
Yeah, and that's even then. That's like, well, I wouldn't say it's optimistic. I would say that's reasonable. Yeah, 20 episodes. So the question is, how many bosses will I be able to beat in that time frame?
You're definitely not beating everything in that time
Yeah,
frame.
no. If I'm the optimistic attitude would be if I beat one boss per session, which means that would be beating like 5 bosses in those 20 episodes. That's extremely optimistic. Because
Before you start, I want to
that
show
would be
you.
that would be half of all the bosses in this area.
Yeah. So before you start, I want to, like, I touched on this last time, and you really kind of did see the difference, but I really
This
want
one
to show
isn't
you
responding yet.
the difference between aerial dodge and air slide, just visibly.
Okay.
Okay. So go to your abilities.
Also, if
And-
I sound a little subdued in this recording, that's because I have that like sickness spidey sense that you get when you feel like you're about to come down with something. Because this is the second shot, so that's the one that makes everyone feel a little bit feverish for about a day or two. So yeah, just letting you know. I'm
Yeah.
a little
Remove all your air slides,
Okay.
and then equip aerial dodge. Now look what Sora does.
It doesn't.
Can you not aerial dodge? You can't aerial dodge outside of battle?
I guess not.
Okay. I was pretty sure if you unequip air slides, you can aerial dodge outside of battle. But I guess not. Whatever. You realize the air side is better.
Yeah.
Um,
It definitely feels faster for. Yeah, only
Um,
works well in combat. It says so right there.
I was pretty sure I was able to get it working, but whatever. Yeah, like, if it's one air slide versus one aerial dodge, I can, okay, maybe kind of see why someone would pick aerial dodge. And then on paper, I can kind of see the argument for aerial dodge over air slide, because it's like aerial dodge doesn't move you as much, so you don't give up your position. But there has never been a situation where I air slided and then it went too far. Because, like, first of all, if you go too far away from the enemy, you can just air step to them. And then,
It's not even about distance. It just feels snappier.
well, this is super slide, not air slide.
Well, no, I'm not talking about super slide. I'm talking about air slide versus air dodge. I'm just doing
Yeah.
this because it's fun.
You know, air dodge, aerial dodge
You know what
may.
Actually, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if you've noticed, but I feel like you gain a slight bit of height every time you do a super slide.
No, I think that's you hitting the stairs.
Maybe.
But yeah, the other thing is, aerial dodge may possibly have slightly more invincibility frames, but it doesn't matter because air slide still has invincibility frames for like the whole animation, so it's like whatever. And the distance really matters a lot. So yeah, I think aerial dodge is garbage, and I don't use it, and I can't see how people would use it. I think it sucks. I think it pretty much is only there just as a callback to KH2 because
yeah.
as we said, he does have all the growth abilities. He has high jump, aerial dodge. Aerial dodge works differently, but it's still aerial dodge. He has air slide, which is actually quick run. In Japan, they have the same name. And then he has glide. Anyway, let's
Oh wait, I'm doing
Terranera.
Terranera.
Officially called Terra Xehanort.
Terranera.
You have to ascend in this fight. This is the I do think this fight is like one of the easier ones, but this is the first one where I'm really like, you do have to ascend here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, you got it! Yes!
All right.
Oh,
so
how
he's
did you
vulnerable
figure
to-
that out?
I don't know. I just had the idea to like counterattack.
Over here! Back at you!
Is that all the light can muster?
Is that all the light can muster? I don't know. You tell me, buddy.
Over here! Enjoy! Over here! Over here! Over here! Back at you!
How did you do that, though? What's different that time?
I have no idea.
Is that all the light can muster?
You have to ascend. Perhaps literally.
Over here! Come on! Surrender! Over here! Over here!
Oh, okay.
There we go. You got it. You got it, right?
Yeah. It's literally the arrow.
Yeah. So that's just how it's gonna be. With these data battles, it's not as simple as, oh, you just gotta dodge this, you gotta block this. How are you dodging and how are you blocking?
Over here!
And if you don't do it right, even if you do technically get, even if you avoid damage, you won't get the opening.
Over here! Over here!
That's not
the
blockable.
light can muster.
I bet his launcher is blockable too. I just need to see when it's coming.
Over here. Over here.
Oh, you did interrupt him. You did actually interrupt him.
I parried him,
You-
but that's not the outcome I wanted.
No, I think you traded.
No,
Like, I think he got in. You parried him. For
I
you
parried him
did parry him.
first, but
Over here.
That's not the
The actual
outcome.
attack. Yeah, I think you traded on that.
Over here. Come on. Over here.
Is that all the light can muster?
I don't know how I managed to do that. I guess my fingers slipped.
Over here.
He sure likes doing that one.
Sick.
Over here.
Ooh, the air revenge counter.
Is that all the light
Dodged a
can
Just
little
timing.
too early.
Over here. Over here.
Is that all
Wow. All right.
the light can muster?
Over here.
Air stepping is so sick. I love that mechanic.
Is that all the light can muster?
Maybe it'd just be better to actually just not try to parry him, just block and then counter.
Because his sword does turn black.
Over here.
Even though the counter didn't actually connect, it still worked because he had landing lag.
Tried to block the wrong way.
Over here.
Is that all
Oh, he's got another wave of that. Okay, good to know. So block, block, roll.
You can just dodge all of them.
Over here. Over here. Over here.
Alright, well, I have answers to his, like, 3 main attacks now, so far, so it's good.
I gotta get it consistent.
Enjoy. Enough. Over here.
Why did I do that?
Enough.
Nice, you actually cancel your item
Time's
use.
ahead. Don't let him escape. Join the shadows. Over here. Enjoy. Over here. Come on.
If you actually got that last counter there, it would have worked.
Nice.
Sick. Actually, really sick. Oh, that's music.
Why did I try to dodge? I should have just blocked. I forgot the pillar is what comes next. I thought he was going to do the overhead.
Dodging is fine too. It's just timing, because even if you blocked, I think you still would have gotten clipped because you did it a little too early.
Over here.
Keep doing it.
Over here.
That attack looks like really so much cooler now, but it's the same thing. It's the same attack. Same
Still
exact
his
attack.
dumbest attack.
Over here. Dark times ahead.
It's still his big dumb idiot attack.
Yeah, because it's just
Like he has never learned that. Oh, geez, someone could just block these and deflect them back at me. Maybe I should like retire that attack for being useless.
he made it stronger, and it changes nothing.
Over here. Come on.
With this dumb idiot doing it again. See, your problem, Xehanort, is you thought Terra was gonna stop being an idiot after you took control of her.
I don't think it's like Terra being an idiot so much as Terra's tools not being very good.
Is that all? The light
He hit me on like the last frame before I was about to get healed or block cancel. It was weird.
Over here.
Very interesting.
I didn't really want to do the
You wanted to jump,
Is that all?
yeah.
The light can
but
muster.
what's it called? If you do it after counter, you get that. If you wanted to jump after the block, then don't counter at all.
Over here. Surrender. Over here.
It's like, yes, I'm in this cool new body who can't really do much, I guess. Oh, I guess he has shot locks. That's cool. Oh, that's you can just be deflected. What if I make it stronger?
Muster.
I think I'm just gonna not trigger that revenge counter when I need to heal. I don't need to get that little extra damage in every time.
Over here.
Yeah, it's not like Vanitas where you can block and then counter it every time. so it actually helps.
Over here. Enjoy.
It's just a little too slow.
That's a really big brain strat you were trying to go for, but it is hard to do it that way. Not wrong, just difficult. But a lot of reward if you manage to get it.
Enough.
Is that all?
Oh, it's too early.
The light can muster.
I think it was hard to see the pillar of light because you were so high. Because when you could see the pillar of light clearly, it's a little easier to time that block.
Over here.
Woo! Maybe if I aerial recovery and then you block. Oh, shit.
Is that all
Like,
the light
you
can
no, you
muster?
can. You just have to.
Do it really
You
fast.
had to block the black parts. You had to do. You had to block the black attacks,
Yeah.
not the red ones.
Over here.
Back at you.
Over here.
Take this.
That was interesting.
Over here.
That would, if you didn't get hit at the end there, that's like the type of stuff that would be like in a combo video.
What?
Enough.
You counter too early. That's all.
Is that all the light can muster?
That one's a hard attack to get a thing on. I should just do what I did before and just try to wait for his last phase, because that's the one where it seems like you can.
Over here.
Is that all
Wow.
the light
Schmixed.
can muster?
Man.
Also, his dash is actually worse in this fight. Like, you can just block and deflect him and punish his landing lag.
Over here.
Mind if I not give you another ability suggestion when you die?
Over here. Enough.
Is that all
Alright, why did I
the
counter
light can
that?
muster?
That was a dumb idea.
So, I noticed this happen to you sometimes. You want to attack an enemy directly below you, but falling slash is a lot of startup, so Zora just misses.
Mm-hmm.
You can just turn that off. Because aerial dive and aerial sweep, which is the abilities you got after you beat the game, they're just so much faster. Like aerial dive, I think, is the one that if they're directly below you and you don't have falling slash equipped, you'll do that, and it's instant startup. Falling slash is really good for combos, but when you start with it, it's not that good. It's not like a situation where it's directly inferior. It's just sometimes they can trip you up like that.
Over here. Surrender. Over here.
Yeah, the pillar of light just stops at a certain point, so it's really hard to see when you're that high up.
Dark times ahead. Don't let him escape.
By the way, I'm pretty sure the lasers that that Guardian shoots in that phase is blockable.
I love that combo so much.
Over here.
It's like an OTG.
Enjoy. Over here.
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's better to just not even let him hit you with that. Like, I don't need to get the punish off of that. I've got plenty of other openings from him.
Openings that you find pretty easy.
Over here. Enough. Over here.
Over here.
Sick, dude. Sick.
Over here.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
What?
Oh, he's too far.
Surrender! Now!
That explains it.
Over here! Now! Over here!
Oh shit!
Enjoy! Over here!
Ooh, okay.
Yeah! Back off!
Surrender! Over here!
What is this? Oh,
Enjoy! Surrender! Over here! Over
that was
here!
it?
Over here!
Yeah, that was it.
I wonder if he'll do that as a second chance.
Like that was just well, that was the same combo, just all unblockable.
There we go!
Is that all
Ah,
the light can muster?
That was really good run, dude. You
Yeah.
got that was really good
I
run.
got to like the second phase. It was pretty good. All right, so
Yeah.
far I'm finding him easier than Data Vanitas, to be honest. He may have some other tricks, so I have to be careful. But
Over here!
that's most
You know,
of what
the
he's
reason
got.
why I find him to be very similar in difficulty to Data Vanitas. The reason why I find Data Vanitas easier is because Data Vanitas' attacks are all blockable.
Yeah, for the most part.
Like his revenge counter in the ground is not blockable. Oh, also jumping before blocking in order to get that opening. Data Vanitas doesn't have anything that complicated.
Over here!
Like, cause you know, it's not just the difficulty of doing the thing. It's also the difficulty of figuring it out. So when you take that into account, you never have to do anything that complicated in Vanitas.
Or maybe he'll do this attack again. Actually, you know what? I'm like 90% sure he will. I'm 90% sure he will have some sort of second chance because I'm pretty sure the actual fight in Birth by Sleep had something like that too, where he will always do the I'll always do like the well in Birth by Sleep it was like you like he would like suck you into him and then you'd have to like free Terra.
Yeah, that's
or
what
whatever.
that attack that he did just then is based on the attack where he sucks you into him. It's just you can't save Terra. So I read something interesting. I mentioned this before actually. It turns out that officially they said that they made the bosses in
Time's ahead!
the Keyblade Graveyard a little easy, actually.
Don't let him escape!
Like, intentionally a little easy, just so that people could get through them and see the rest of the story. And that these data battles are actually, like, closer
Join the shadows!
closer to what each boss can canonically do.
Nice.
So you can kind of see it as this is how the fights would have actually gone if they hadn't had to make a concession for you know,
Yeah.
people who aren't us. Dude, the wall bounce actually gave you that opening. Nice.
Yeah.
Over here!
Whoa, what am I doing?
Enjoy! Now!
Oof. Oh shit.
Over here! Over here!
It helps that he's not as fast paced either. This is definitely a faster
This is
pace
Terra.
than yeah, it's definitely faster than you've ever fought Terranort before, but he's still a pretty slow boss.
Enjoy! Over here!
Back at you! Over here!
Like that
Sick.
attack's not that fast.
That attack's As I said, that attack is worse than every other Parabons because before you could block it, but you wouldn't get an opening out of it. Now you can get an opening out of it.
Oh, that was so dangerous.
That looked cool though.
Man, let me have a little health, please.
Look, dude. The other thing that makes him easier than Birth by Sleep, he doesn't have Kiraga.
Oh, right. I completely
remember
forgot
that?
he had that. I was so mad. He just lets you, he just takes his damage. Like a good little idiot. Terrible for you.
A little too high.
Over here. Come on. Enjoy.
Back at you. Got him.
Sick, sick, sick.
Back off. Yeah.
Surrender. Over here.
Yeah. See it right there.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
Final
it
blow
just
into
looks
ultimate
cool.
form.
Enjoy.
It reminds me of like War Machine combos
Over here.
from MVC 1
Yeah.
because like when you do combo to War Destroyer is very similar to the changing it to ultimate form.
Don't let him escape. Join the shadows.
Sick.
Over here.
Oh, that's interesting. He usually does the combo.
Yeah. There.
OTG.
Yeah.
Over here. Surrender.
Take this over here. Yeah. So long.
Ah, this music is literally just gave me goosebumps.
Over here.
Whoa.
Hello?
It just missed me.
Did it or
Yeah.
or does the landing roll have invincibility?
No, I think it just missed me. Like, I saw it, especially, actually, that thing at the end, that little bit at the where it hit me, like, just barely at the, in the second time he got it, confirms it for me.
Okay.
Over here.
Should be
Do
able
the
to
whole
go full
combo before finishing. Yes. Look at that damage!
Yeah, that damage is nuts.
Here. Surrender. Over here. Over here. Over here.
Oh, I see. He doesn't do it for as long.
Yeah, he just
learns
does
a
3
little bit.
direct shots.
Is that all?
Oh, okay.
The light.
So his patterns change a little bit. But that's fine. If I'm able to
Oh, that
consistently get to his second phase, I'll be happy. It's a pretty good run,
That's a
though.
really good run. That's a really good
Over
run.
here.
He really is a digital dummy.
Come on. I could have just fucking hit him with that. I mean, why not, right? Actually, I want to try that next time. If I have that much time.
Counter with the shot lock.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right?
I think in order for best results, you want to start charging it during block stun, which should be easy. You stay in block stun for a while.
Oof.
Oh!
Dark times ahead.
I'm not as used to the timing of the lights. Because he doesn't
light
usually
is-
do it. He usually
The
does
thing is
the overhead.
Yeah, but the thing with the lights is that it's the same exact attack in Birth by Sleep, and it was blockable there too, and you
Yeah.
can figure that out.
Yeah, I remember
Join the
that.
shadows.
But the thing is, I think with the lights in Birth by Sleep is that if you did get hit by them, he would grab you,
Yeah.
and then he
doesn't
would
do
like
that.
SPD you. Because I think they realize, like, you know, grabs like that are cool, but
See ya.
Let's see how much damage this does.
oh no, it was too slow. The startup is too high.
Okay, so it's not worth it to do that.
But what if you had Oblivion equipped?
That's an interesting idea.
In now. Over here.
Yeah, this is the one. to use.
And if Oblivion is too slow, what if you had High Wind equipped? Or Storm, what's it called? It's not called High Wind, that's the form change.
Back off. Over here.
We'll see it on
Not Storm Flag either. Whatever, it's High Wind.
Over here.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah.
And you could do the finish.
Take this. There.
Oh, that was cool.
That looks so cool.
Over here.
Nice.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Over here. Over here.
No worries. Ooh.
Over here.
Oh, shit.
Is that all
Ah.
the light can muster?
All right, I didn't know how long that was going to go. I was like, how many of these is he going to do?
Over here.
I feel better about Terranort than I do about Vanitas, to be honest. This is... If I'm
I
able
also
to get
feel
to
like-
this second phase this quickly, and
Also feel like
semi-consistently-
you're just feeling better about Terranort than you were last time.
Well, I was uncertain about Terranort, but I'm like already doing better than I was. It was mostly that attack I wasn't sure how to deal with, but now I know you can just counter him in the air.
Yeah, but that's like that's what I said that you did have to ascend a little bit for, because it's like that's not something you'd think of, right?
Yeah.
But you really that type of outside the box thinking is what you have to do for like every data battle from this point. The reason why I put Vanitas and Young Xehanort as the two easiest bosses because I don't think you have to. There's nothing you have to ascend for those bosses. For every other boss, you have to ascend. Even this one. This one is really easy, but you still have to ascend there a little bit. Because, again, the difficulty of figuring it out is part of the difficulty. Hello. Hello, Mario.
Dark times ahead.
That was really interesting. He didn't do a second round of that either.
Don't let him escape.
This is. I like this. I love this attack, dude.
Join the shadows.
Aw, the light came
The
back.
light can muster.
That attack is very like, yes, this is a 3D game, you know? Like anything, like, you know, this is just a me thing, not like I think everybody should think like this, but I've said this before, I generally just prefer 2D games in general. And basically anything that makes me go like, yes, this absolutely 100% only could be done in a 3D game makes me love that 3D game so much.
Yeah.
Also, like, as I've said, I feel like the data battles are like action game hell. That attack's a spell card, Sam.
Time's ahead.
Is it not?
Yeah, it does feel very spell party.
Don't let him escape.
There should be like a 3D. I know there's like a fan-made 3D Toho. I don't think there's an official one.
There's actually a lot of like fan-made 3D Tohos. Although really, if you want a 3D Toho, and you're just talking about like gameplay-wise, you're looking for like, you know, near Automata. But there are some like actual shooter games that are starting to get into like bullet patterns. I saw a first-person shooter that had like bullet hell style patterns. I don't remember the name. And then there's a new game coming out for PS5 called Returnal, which is like a third-person shooter, and also seems to have like bullet patterns similar to bullet hell.
Is that all? The light can muster.
Frame traps again.
Also, like, there are some Doom mods, like for classic Doom, that are very like bullet hell, and they're cool too. You never played classic Doom, right?
I have. Oh my
Do you
God.
remember? Do you remember the Cyber Demon shoots at you?
I do not.
He shoots rockets. He has a rocket launcher. I saw a mod that pits you in against the Cyber Demon in a hallway where all the walls reflect rockets. And it was the funniest thing because eventually the field just becomes filled with rockets because he keeps shooting them and they keep bouncing off until they hit you.
I was really unlucky.
You're also like just recovering from your mistakes a lot better than last time.
He gives you more opportunities to do that, which is another reason why I consider him a little easier. The Need Escaping no ability to do that. Neither did Young Xehanort. Well, I shouldn't say it. Young Xehanort gives you some ability to recover from mistakes. But why did I do that? Oh, why?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, now I'll get my ultimate one. Let's see how far I can take this combo.
Oh, nice. You have to be a little careful because the block doesn't last as long in ultimate form.
I guess ultimate form can't do the critical thing. That's good to know.
Critical guard?
Yeah.
It can.
Well, it can,
What the
but
thing
it
is,
just
It's just that the counter for ultimate form,
Why didn't I jump? Press circle. Oh, there we go. I got it there.
the counter for ultimate form does not extend below it, but counter slash does. That's what happened there.
Over here. Surrender. Over here.
But you know what you can do there?
What?
Air step.
It's true.
In fact, if you were, for example, using counter kick here, you'd need to do that. That looks cool.
Over here. Dark times ahead.
I hate that he says that.
Dark times ahead.
Like, the phrase on its own is fine, but it just reminds me of dark times, my friend ahead. Maybe no computer, maybe no home. I go away now, but we are two of soul. I will return. Oh, that looked cool. Oh, that looked cool.
Wasn't really what I wanted to do, but
Remember, the damage of Final Blow is magic damage, so Oathkeeper does pretty good damage on Final Blow. Although I think Ultimate Weapon actually does more damage.
it still does, yeah.
Because of the combo boost.
Take this. Here.
Oh yeah, you remember how I was using Oblivion against Grim Guardianess?
Mm-hmm.
That's because
Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was going to ask you about, and I forgot.
it's just because I didn't want to do too much damage before the second Apple Rain. It was part of the manipulation.
Over here. Over here. Over here. Over here.
Is that all the light can muster?
Just give me 1 second to heal, please.
Over here.
Wouldn't be data battles, they're easy.
Nope, that's true.
Over here.
So slow.
It is literally easier to deal with than it was in Birth by Sleep.
Over here.
And this is still the hardest version of the boss.
Enjoy. Enough.
That scared me. I thought he was doing the overhead. But you made the right call.
Times ahead.
Well, see, the overhead is reactable,
Don't let him
so...
escape.
Yeah, also overhead is red. That was white. It's just for a second my mind was like, no, that's
In a
the
weird way,
overhead.
I actually would prefer him to do the overhead because the rhythm of it is more to the rhythm of his other attacks.
Join the shadows.
But you know,
Over here.
then this fight would be easier.
Yeah.
That's not the point of these fights. Point of these fights is to be hard as possible.
Enjoy. Over here.
Whoop.
Surrender. Over here.
Think about this, Sam.
Over here.
In the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, do you remember any point where a boss mixed up blockable and unblockable attacks?
Nope.
Not one point? There was exactly one time that Kingdom Hearts 2 did that. And it was Lingering Will's Limit.
Oh, right.
That's it. This game, bosses in the main story do it.
Yeah.
And that's because that's the type of design that you can do more when you have like flexibility. Like Sora can cancel blocks and dodges together. He can't do that in 2.
Over here.
So only the super boss has it.
Is that all?
Okay, that
The light
resets.
can muster.
That resets that.
Yep.
I have to remember that in case I do get hit by that.
Over here.
Sometimes some things just go through once more, or with sand combo they call in the game. But generally, if something does, sometimes this doesn't work. But if something does, then mashing a roll might save you. I'm so glad you're using air stepping more. I've been hoping you'd do that like all game.
Oh man,
That was slightly too early.
so long.
Time's ahead.
Like so long.
Don't let him escape.
Not only is this a spell card, you have to capture it. You can't just hit him out of it.
Join the shadows. Over here. Enjoy. Over here. Enjoy. Over here.
Oh man, I'm literally holding the controller, and my hands are sweating.
Over here.
And I don't have no reason to hold a controller. I'm not playing.
Over here.
That's how you know this game is good. Just makes you want to get into
Over
it.
here.
Yeah. I'm having so much fun just watching you. And this music. Ah. I didn't say this on recording, but
Over here.
I told Sam last time that getting invested in the story and characters and all that stuff makes these fights harder, because then like the music hits you, or just the feeling of it, or just remembering previous games, because these fights do reference the previous games a lot.
Over here. Over here. Over here.
Thanks for teleporting closer to me, dumbass.
I think he tries teleporting closer to you because the game wants you to get that opening.
Is that
Ah,
Okay, we gotta cut it
man.
because it said 5 minutes left. But
Yeah.
you have made insane progress. You're gonna do this, Sam.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
All right, guys. See ya.